Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app and you can attempt this quiz as well as you can read this explanation in that quiz. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. Revision PDF are uploaded on this Telegram channel. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. Rajendrakumar, who was seen in news recently, is the winner of which award? So, recently MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, announced Subhash Chandra Bose Aapda Prabandhan Praskar for 2021. Aapda Prabandhan means disaster management, and for disaster management, we have Disaster Management Act of 2005. Under this act, we have NDRF, that is National Disaster Response Force, and this NDRF is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, now coming back to Subhash Chandra Bose Aapda Prabandhan Praskar. So, first and foremost point is it was announced by Home Ministry. Second point is that in individual category it was given to Rajendrakumar Bhandari, and in institutional category it was given to SEEDS. What is SEEDS? It is Sustainable Environment and Ecological Development Society. So, the Subhash Chandra Bose Aapda Prabandhan Praskar is given by MHA. That means it was announced by MHA. It was given in two categories. One is individual, another in institutional category. In individual category, it was given to Rajendrakumar Bhandari. In institutional category, it was given to SEEDS. Now, if we talk about Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, 23rd of January was celebrated as Prakram Divas on the occasion of his birth anniversary. And this time we are celebrating 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Next question is, Sagun is a flagship scheme of which state or union territory? So it is a scheme of Punjab. Name of scheme is Sagun. So under this scheme, financial assistance is provided to the girls who belong to low income family for their marriage. So Sagun is a scheme to provide financial assistance for marriage. Now, the intention behind this scheme is to prevent child marriage. How that can be done? See, this amount or this financial assistance will be provided only if that female is eligible for marriage. That means her age is eligible for marriage. Recently, this scheme was in news because the Punjab government hiked the grant from 31,000 to 51,000. Next question is, the WHO, that is World Health Organization, has collaborated with which company to distribute COVID vaccines under COVAX Alliance? So first thing first, what is this COVAX Alliance? This is an alliance to distribute vaccines to the old countries, specifically to the poor and less developed country. Now this is an alliance of three major entities. One is WHO, that is World Health Organization. Another is CEPI, that is Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. And third is Gavi, that is the Vaccine Alliance. So these three entities are the major components of this COVAX Alliance. Now, recently, WHO has collaborated with Pfizer to distribute these COVID-19 vaccines under this COVAX Alliance. Pfizer is an American pharmaceutical company. So now 40 million doses of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine will be distributed to the poor and lower middle income countries. Recently, WHO was also in news as Dr. Harshvardhan presided over the executive board of WHO. It was also in news as USA decided to rejoin this WHO. Present Director General of WHO is Tedros Adhanom. Next question is, National Girl Child Day has been celebrated in India from which year? So since 2008, we are celebrating National Girl Child Day on 24th of January. And it is an initiative of WCD, that is Ministry of Women and Child Development. So 24th of January is National Girl Child Day. Apart from that, 24th of January was also celebrated as International Education Day. And on this occasion of National Girl Child Day, recently Srishti Goswami was appointed as a Chief Minister of Uttarakhand for one day. The Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat, and to celebrate this National Girl Child Day, for one day, Srishti Goswami was appointed as the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. So 24th of January is celebrated as International Education Day and National Girl Child Day. 25th of January is celebrated as National Voters Day. 25th of January is special because on this day in 1950, Election Commission of India was established. That's why it is significant. On the other hand, 26th of January is celebrated as International Customs Day. Next question is, which country passed a resolution that allows its Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels to prevent threats? So recently, China was in controversy because of this resolution. China has recently passed its Coast Guard legislation, and this legislation allows its Coast Guard to fire on the foreign vessel to stop or to prevent threats from them. This also allows the Chinese Coast Guard to demolish structures which are built on Chinese claimed reef. Now, here is a problem. Problem is that in South China Sea, there are a lot of controversial areas which are disputed. Disputed in the sense that more than one country claim them. And now this legislation allows that Chinese personnel can inspect foreign vessels in the waters claimed by China. They can demolish structures built on the Chinese claimed reef. So that is why this is quite controversial. Now recently, China was also in news because of current account surplus. So recently, China surpassed Germany, and now China is a country with biggest current account surplus. On the other hand, USA is a country with biggest current account deficit. China was also in news because of foreign direct investment. As per the report, China is the world's top destination for new foreign direct investment in 2020. Previously, USA was on top position. Now, China has surpassed USA. See, one interesting fact is that in 2020, the new overseas investment for USA fell by 49%. However, in case of China, FDI increased by 4%. So you can see that how coronavirus impacted these two economies. Next question is, by which year the Geological Survey of India is set to complete National Geochemical Mapping Program? So as the name suggests, it is a program for geochemical mapping, and this program will be executed by GSI, that is Geological Survey of India, and this program will be completed by 2024. Geological Survey of India was also in news because of one more initiative, and it is National Geoscience Data Repository. So this will be a database of all the data related to geoscience of our country. So this GSI was in news because of two programs. One is this National Geochemical Mapping, and second program is National Geoscience Data Repository. What is GSI? It is Geological Survey of India, and it was founded in 1851. It is the second oldest survey in our country. The oldest survey institute is Survey of India. It was founded in 1767. This GSI was founded in 1851. Now answer in comment box. Survey of India is under which union ministry? The headquarters of GSI is in Kolkata, and GSI is under Ministry of Mines. Next question is, what is the name of public awareness campaign program on Ayurveda that was organized recently by All India Institute of Ayurveda? So the name of this campaign is Ayu Samvad. It is a public awareness campaign, and it was organized by All India Institute of Ayurveda. Name of the program is Ayu Samvad. The campaign is supported by Ayush Ministry. Recently, Ministry of Ayush was in news as Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju was given the additional charge of Ayush Ministry. Kiran Rijiju is the Sports Minister. Recently, Sports Ministry was in news as it permitted 4 indigenous sports in Khelo India Youth Games. Next question is, which organization has released the report titled The Inequality Virus? So it has been released by Oxfam International. Name of report is The Inequality Virus. It was released by Oxfam International, and it found out that the COVID pandemic has deepened the existing inequalities. So as per this report, top 100 billionaires in our country witnessed increment in their worth by 12.97 trillion. On the other hand, 70,000 people lost their jobs every hour in the month of April 2020 because of this COVID pandemic. So you see, the rich strata of society witnessed increment in their wealth. On the other hand, the lower strata of society witnessed job loss. So that is how the inequalities were further increased because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Oxfam International is a non-governmental organization and the headquarters is in Nairobi. Nairobi is in Kenya. In fact, the headquarters of UNEP is also in Nairobi in Kenya. UNEP is United Nations Environment Program. Recently it was in news as it released Adaptation Gap Report. Next question is Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Praskar is awarded by which ministry? So it was awarded by WCD, that is Union Ministry of Women and Child Development. Name of this award is Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Praskar. So recently 32 children were awarded this award. Present Minister of Women and Child Development is Smriti Irani. Recently she was in news as Smriti Irani and Prakash Javadekar jointly launched Proyecthon. So this was an event which was organized to develop India as a global toy manufacturing hub. Prakash Javadekar is the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and he also handled INB Ministry, that is Information and Broadcasting Ministry. On the other hand, Smriti Irani also handled Textile Ministry. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. So first is Purvanchal Expressway. It was in news because of airstrip. Now what is airstrip? Airstrips are the expressway which are designed to facilitate the emergency landing of fighter planes. So airstrips are the expressway where fighter planes can land in any emergency situation or fighter planes can take off in any emergency situation. So these are like runway, but these are on road. So now this Purvanchal Expressway was in news as a new airstrip has been constructed near Kurebhar on this Purvanchal Expressway. This is in Uttar Pradesh. Now Uttar Pradesh is the only state in our country that have two such airstrips on expressway. One is on Purvanchal Expressway, another one is on Lucknow Agra Expressway. Next news is related to Portugal. So recently Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa won the elections in Portugal. He is the president of Portugal and recently he won second term. Capital of Portugal is Lisbon. Present Secretary General of United Nations is also from Portugal. Next is Pank Abhiyan. So this is an initiative by Madhya Pradesh government. This was announced on the occasion of National Girl Child Day. Pank stands for Protection, Awareness, Nutrition, Knowledge and Health. Again, you need not to remember the full form, but if you are preparing for Madhya Pradesh exams, then you should know this. That means you should remember the full form as well. Next is 4G. So recently this mobile game was launched by Bollywood actor Akshay Kumar. The full form of this 4G is Fearless and United Guards. Next is Republic Day 2021. So for the first time, the tableau of Ladakh featured in the Republic Day parade. And this tableau highlighted the goal of Ladakh to be carbon neutral. This tableau also featured Indian Astronomical Observatory, and this observatory is in Hanle in Ladakh. This is near Leh. It is one of the world's highest observatory. It is one of the world's highest site for telescopes. Next is Dhanlakshmi Bank. So recently this bank was in news as J.K. Shivan was appointed as the next MD and CEO. Next is Buy American. So recently US President signed executive order. Now this executive order modify the rules for Buy American program. Now what is this Buy American? It means the federal agencies, that means the government agencies of USA will prefer those items which are made in America. That means they are going to prefer those items which are manufactured in US factories. Next is transgender military ban. So previous President Donald Trump banned transgenders in military. Now the new president has removed that ban. Next is Janet Yellen. So recently she was appointed as the Treasury Secretary and she is the first woman to be on this position. She has been appointed as the Treasury Secretary of USA. So these three news were related to USA. Next is Global Climate Risk Index 2021. So recently this index was released by German Watch. It is a Bonn-based environment think tank. Bonn is in Germany. So as per this index, India is on 7th position. That means India is the 7th worst hit country in terms of climate change. Top 3 countries are, that means top 3 countries which were impacted most by the climate change are Mozambique, Zimbabwe and Bahamas. India is on 7th position. Next is AMP HEX 21. So this was a tri-service joint exercise. Tri-service means Indian Army, Navy and Air Force participated in this exercise. and this was conducted in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now yesterday there was a question that how we should cover current affairs if we are preparing for state PCS examinations. See, state PCS examinations are not conducted so frequently. Therefore, you need to focus only those events which are very significant. For example, in case of national events, you should focus on the events of your states. Of course, in your state, for example, if you are preparing for West Bengal state PCS, in your state, you need to cover all the important events. But for the events which are related to other states, you need to cover only those which are either first of its kind or which are out of box. For example, recently Andhra Pradesh started the home delivery of ration. So this is important because it's a first of its kind. Apart from that, recently Gujarat started online certification for fire safety. Gujarat High Court recently started live telecast of its proceedings. So these are first of its kind initiatives, and that is why they are important for state PCS examinations. So in case of national events, cover the events related to your state and cover the events related to other states which are first of its kind or which are out of box. In case of international events, try to cover the events which will have long-term impact, specifically on the interest of India, plus the events which are first of its kind, even though they do not impact India's interest. In case of sports, just cover major sports event. Do not try to cover each and every tournament because you won't be able to revise this much information. In case of economy, cover the conceptual part and try to cover the institutional part. For example, RBI, SEBI, try to cover. Do not try to cover events which are too much frequent. For example, RBI imposed fine on some bank. These type of news events are not important for state PCS, but of course they are important for banking exam. For you, what is important? You have to cover conceptual parts. For example, repo, reverse repo, LTRO, what will be the impact on inflation, what is the target of inflation, what is monetary policy committee, how the members of monetary policy committee decide anything. So these conceptual aspects are important, and you need to cover the current affairs related to these conceptual questions. For example, recently, few months ago, the members of monetary policy committee were appointed by the government. So 3 members were appointed by the government, 3 are from RBI. So try to focus more on the macro aspect of economy and do not cover too much about micro aspect of economy. Similarly, in case of PIN, that is person in news, try to cover only those events which are either unique or which are related to the government. For example, in case of awards, you need to cover only those awards which are very prominent. Do not try to cover each and every award because you will not be able to recall that much information. However, the scenario is different in case of banking exams because banking exams are conducted very frequently. So you will have to mug up these nitty-gritties. Similarly, those who are preparing for defense exam, for them, defense news are too much important. But for others, you need not to remember each and every nitty-gritty, but you just need to understand the basic concepts. For example, HAL, ISRO, DRDO. So you need to cover only major and significant events. Okay, now today's test. So first question is, Ayushman CAPF scheme is a joint initiative of National Health Authority and which ministry? So this question has been covered at least 5 times. Now if you are not able to answer these test questions, that means either you are not revising them properly or you are running behind too many that means either you are not watching them properly or you are following too many sources and you are not able to collect that information. So if you have a memory problem, restrict to your sources, revise the same information again and again, and you will see the difference. Next question is, Mohammed Istai is the Prime Minister of which country? Third question is, India celebrated National Voters Day on 25th of January to commemorate which event? Fourth question is, Carolina Marin, who won women's single title at Thailand Open tournament, is from which country? Next question is, which state celebrated its Golden Jubilee Statehood Day on 25th of January? Now this question is important for those who are preparing for that state PCS examination, plus this is important for bank exams as well. For others, it is not so important. Next is AMPHEX 21, which was seen in news recently. What is it? Next question is, rocket of which space organization has made a record of carrying the highest number of satellites in a single mission? Next question is, as per United Nations, which country has become the world's top destination for new foreign direct investment? Next question is KP Sharma Oli was a former Prime Minister of which country? Next question is Udyam Sarthi and Abhyodaya are the initiatives of which Indian state? Next question is the status of leopard in India 2018 was released recently. As per that report, which state has the highest number of leopards? So this was question number 7, this was question number 8, 9, 10, 11. Question number 12 is who is the head of Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas, which was in news recently. And 13th question is Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi has been conferred with the Legion of Merit Honor by which country? So these were the most important questions. Thank you, and that's all for